Shalom, shalom. This brother Zephaniah, brother Joseph, with another lesson coming from SLT School of Truth, servants in the house of the Lord together in God's eternal righteousness. With today's lesson, one wife doctrine gamma ray, right? Like when a nuclear bomb go off, that gamma ray, that fry everything. That's what we about to do to this doctrine right here today. First, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, the God that created the heavens and the earth, the God that you should fear. Thank Him for the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the faith, grace, and mercy. The God that you should fear and everything. And the God that lives forever. Amen. So what's going on? We got this pandemic going on. The beast done roared, his horns done came out. The horns done came out. That's a whole nother class. So we're going to dive into this. So you got a lot of jealous Negroes in Israel. A lot of jealousy. A lot of strife and hatred because brothers got multiple wives. Hold on. First, books we getting into. King James Bible. King James Apocrypha. Babylon Timbuktu. And I got 3 letters. Let's get it. So, brothers jealous because brothers got multiple wives or whatever. But they don't think nothing through. So I seen a brother that said, when the scriptures say, you and your wife become one flesh, he was like, how is you going to become one flesh with 3 women or like that? That becoming one flesh is talking about with that woman. And it's not talking physically like I'm going to give her a hug and then we going to morph into each other. And then we going to be half man and half woman. I'm going to be a man on this side and a woman on this side. I'm going to have tennis shoes on over here. She going to have a high heel on over here. I'm going to have my head corn rolled over. She going to have her head done in a big old hairstyle. I'm going to have a black shirt on over here. She going to have a pink shirt on over here. Brothers don't be thinking, man, that scripture not just talking about physical. It's talking spiritually, mentally, and physically become one flesh. That's what it's talking about. So we're going to break it all the way down to see how could a man have multiple women. So let's get into some logic. Let's go into a scripture. Sirach 36 and 24. Sirach 26 and 20, 36 and 24. The Sabbath over. Just now getting in the classroom, but it's a pact that we got with the Most High to teach much as we can, to stay in the spirit. It's nothing left out here for Negroes to do. We done tried everything and done did everything. It don't hurt to try this way. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody say, how they feel about it. None of that. I'm going to teach this word until I die. All right, let's get it.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Get it for what?
A possession.
A what?
A possession.
So, when I get a pair of shoes, am I obligated just to have one pair of shoes? That's a possession. Or farm animals. Am I just going to have one lamb, one sheep, one bull? No. When I got that one bull, my stud, he going to have multiple female cows to breed with to give me more meat and to spread the genetic diversity around. Or if I got the male lamb, like when you got a rooster, You put two roosters together, they gonna fight. But that one rooster can have 50 chickens and he'll breed with all of them in the course of a day. And they'll be laying eggs every day. I was on a farm with chickens and all that. I know how it works. The lion, the same thing. When that male lion, it's not this one male lion and this one lioness. They in a pride. It's the male lion, he got his wife, and another male lion, he got his wife, and they all double dating. No, them male lions will be killing each other. That male lion, all them females right there, them his. So when you look at nature, you can see the Most High gave us nature to study, to see his order. So if he relate Israel to the lion, you know what I mean, the nation of Israel, why wouldn't it be too far-fetched that we pattern after nature? Do it make sense? So let's go into some logic. A man takes 3 men with him. I'm getting some land. I got 3 men with me. I got my wife. All 3 of them men got wives. But I got 8 other Eves with me. 8 other women with me, and they young. They learning skills from the older sisters. That's the wives, the main wives right now. But these wives is burnt out as far as having babies. I got a few babies from my wife. She burnt out on having babies. You don't want to kill your wife for having babies. But past her time, I started having babies when I was older. My wife too. You know what I mean? So her situation, she can't have no more babies. She can, but it'll be a risky thing to try. So if I get some young females into my school and they don't have no husband, no covering, and my wife approving them, we gonna see it in the scriptures. And I need, okay, and the other brothers, one of them a doctor, one of them a carpenter, and one of them a metalsmith. The 3 men, one of them got a son, the other 2 don't have sons, they got daughters. So in Israel, what do we teach our daughters? We teach them how to be wives, how to sew, how to cook, how to cater to the man, how to be a perfect woman, and to serve the Most High. The man's job is to do all that labor and all that other stuff. And these young men, and they don't have no sons, 2 of them. The older man got a son and a couple daughters. I got a son and a daughter. You mean to tell me them 2 young men right there, they got wives, and there's 8 women left. We need more sons so we can teach them stuff. So where we gonna get the sons from? Where them other sons gonna come from? It's just us 12 living on. It's us, hold on, I said me and 3 men, that's 4. Plus 4 wives, that's 8. And 8 other wives, 8 other women, that's 16. It's 16 of us. So what the women, what the scripture tell a woman when she burn, let her marry. If you burn it, let her marry, let her marry. That's not verbatim, but it's basically saying if you burning in your lust, let you marry. If you just gotta have that sex, then let her marry. What that mean? Find you a wife and have sex. Go in a marriage chamber and do it the right way. Now, I get it. You got brothers that misuse the concept of multiple wives. They don't know how to handle it. They mistreating this wife and treating this wife good. The Most High said false balance is abomination. So it got to be a balance. You got to treat them equally. It got to be a balance. You can't treat them this one bad and this one. That's a false balance. That's not balance. That's a false balance. I'm going to treat her good and treat her mean. That's a false. I'm going to hold her up and hold her down. That's a false balance. I'm I'm going to treat both of them good. That's balance. That's evil. That's even off. It's even. So these 8 sisters that's this time, what they gonna do? What they just gonna be making clothes and cooking? They gonna start lusting after a while. So what they gonna start doing? Bumping booties, carpet munching. What they gonna start doing when they start burning in their lust, Negro? I want to know, Mister Uni. You only can have one wife. Brothers be jealous. Brothers be hating. That's that in the world nigga spirit where you hating on a brother because he got more women than you. I do like this to a brother that got more women than me. Good for him. If he can handle it. But brother got, it say, we gonna get into it. That's all it is on that scripture.
Yeah,
Read it over.
it's the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
All right, stop. So I got my one wife. That's a possession. I own my wife, and she supposed to be a helpmate, but she getting old. But I got these young women hanging around. Why I'm gonna run my wife in the ground when she got help right there? Her handmaids, not handmaids, sister wives that can help her. Help her take care of her children, help her financially, and give her more babies. Because the baby's gonna be under my name. And she the head wife. They her sister wives. Or what they call second wife, third wife, whatever, it's an order. But she gonna be the head honcho. So it don't make sense that them women just sit on the sideline. I got land somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Ain't no men around, but it's 4 brothers right here that they wives already done had multiple kids and all that. These 2 men that got skills, they got 2 daughters. Both of them got daughters. This man got a daughter and he got a son and a couple daughters. We need more males. And it can't be all by the same man. That ain't no diversity. Because who they gonna breed with? Who they gonna breed with? When this man had, say, just say for instance, if them other 8 women took hold of this one man and all of them had babies by that one man, who is them babies gonna have babies with? It gotta be a diversity. Who they gonna have babies with anyway? So it gotta be a diversity. So out of them 8 women, me and the other 3 brothers, we gonna take on more wives, maybe 2 apiece. It's 4 of us and there's 8 left. All of us get 2 apiece. So now I got 3 wives. All of us got 3 wives now, apiece. You know what I mean? That way we got genetic diversity and we guaranteed to have more sons that we can raise up. We getting old, we ain't got time to be playing around. We got skills. We know how to build houses and do this and do that. But we need to pass it on. The woman only can do but so much. She gonna need some manpower down the line, and they gonna need to procreate to keep going. The little community we try and build until we get some more people in, they gonna have to keep it going. The women gonna have to learn how to give birth. They teaching the Israelite women that now. They got birthing centers. Women learning how to make clothes, learning how to do all that. We need the men to learn how to make houses, learn how to be doctors, learn how to hunt, learn how to deal with agriculture, learn how to be engineers, dealing with metal, dealing with water systems. So it got to be a diversity. So it don't make sense. My wife not able to do nothing. She not able to bear no children no more, and she not able to move and rip and run no more. I'm hypothetically speaking. I'm not talking in real life. This is a scenario, a logic scenario. She needs some help. So where that help gonna come from? Them other women. What they just gonna be sitting around, and then when it's their time to marry, cause you human, you gonna start lusting. So what I'm gonna tell them? Nah, y'all just gonna have to stay down in the servant house and just hope a man come through one day. And all that time, we need more babies. So I'm just showing how brothers don't think. Brothers be pressed. You got Pharisees in this truth. You a Pharisee if you making your own rules up and it's truth if it's not sound. It don't make sense. It's a commandment of men. Let's start. Go to Matthew 15 and 9. So we start the class now. One wife doctrine, gamma ray, destroyed, decapitated, obliterated, whatever you want to call it. That's what's happening. Because brothers, I'm tired of brothers don't think. Brothers be pressed to get commandments of men. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
The commandments of who?
The commandments of men.
Oh, you only can have one wife.
The commandments of men.
Come on, man. It's good to put certain measures in play to make sure a marriage won't fail, like setting the orders where they have to wait a certain time period, a courting period called courting, where you court a woman like we used to do back in the day when you just jump in the sack. You exchange numbers, talk on the phone for a while, get to know each other, learn people's family background, where they from, who they related to, any diseases in their family. You want to know all this stuff before you marry them. I can get that. But you can't set no mandate to say, oh, you only can have one woman. Any situation can happen where you need another woman to help. They say the woman is a helpmate. And then here in the 1828, the woman is a servant. So who say you only can have one servant, Negro? That's what I mean. We're going to break this stuff all the way down. I'm about to get it right now. Brothers always, because they got titles. Deacon, captain, bishop. And that supposed to make you know everything or make you right because you sitting up there with a garment on. No, it don't, Negro. It don't make you right. And you're not breaking nothing all the way down. You're going to pull one scripture and that poses, man, I don't kick, man. Come on, man. You can talk, you can huff and puff, you can stick your chest out, bass your voice up. That don't make you right. And you can have your yes man agreeing, and because they don't know the scriptures, they just going by what you telling them. You got all Sunday school, they got all they men underlings. They can't think for themselves. The Most High ain't tell us to be like that. You study under a man, but you still gotta be your own man too. Cause everything he gonna bring out not gonna be right all the time. Read this definition of woman. Definition 2. Right there. It's different. It's breaking it down to different attributes of a woman. Right there.
A female attendant or servant.
She a what?
Or servant.
Go back. A female what?
A female attendant.
A what?
Attendant.
A what?
Attendant.
A what?
Attendant.
Or what?
Or servant.
Or servant. Negro. A woman is a servant. Like I keep saying, you want to break the KJV down. That's why a lot of brothers can't understand it. You need this book to go with it. This the book that go with the KJV. This the King's English right here. This modern English don't get it. This the King's English. Say a woman is a female attendant or a servant. What's an attendant? A helper. Somebody that run errands and help. You're gonna need more than one attendant, one a servant. You need more than one servant to help in the household. But that's not saying it's mandatory to have one wife. If you can have one wife, if that's fits you and that's what you want to do, but you can't make no mandate saying another brother can't have. And these women sucking that up because they got the spirit of America on them. I don't care. Right? These women in the truth, they faking. They act, they head wrap, they dress on and shalom and all that. Be dragons like a mug in the house. Don't really believe in the scriptures. Don't want to follow the scriptures. They want to hold on. America teach you that you only can have one wife. That's an American westernized concept, Negroes. That ain't never been our custom. Now you can do that if you want, but it's not mandatory. When it tell the bishop to have one wife because he a bishop, he got to run a whole organization, a whole congregation. You don't have time for multiple wives. And that wasn't no commandment. That was just Paul just speaking. That was Paul just speaking. That's all he was doing. He was making a suggestion. That's not no commandment. Because we about to go to the commandments to prove it. So it's either Paul negate the commandments of old, or the commandments of old ain't valid no more. And you don't want to go there because I just did classes on that. I did a class called Moses' Laws is Valid, all the laws is valid. It's just with Christ, we got this more discernment and leniency with the laws. You're not going to get killed for breaking the law. That's the only difference now. While we under grace, you're not going to get killed. When we get back in the new kingdom, and the Most High set it back up, we back sacrificing or whatever, we set it back up, then hey, that's what it is. But as of right now, we in captivity, stuff all messed up. We trying to climb back up to ourselves. The laws still stand. It's just not, you're not going to die for breaking the law. Whenever the Most High cut the grace off, go to read read Matthew 15:9 again. You gotta meditate in this book. You can't just get in your feel. A lot of these brothers be teaching with their feelings.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 9. But in vain they do worship me.
In what?
In vain they do worship me.
Nah, in all honesty.
In vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men.
See that? Rocker, you brothers vain, man. Real vain and vague in your talk. I don't know why I keep writing the book. Or the Ephesians 5:31. And I'm not going into no precepts that don't rock a precepts where they had multiple wives. King Solomon had 400, 800 wives. I'm not going into all that. The scripture about in that day 7 women or 8 women gonna take hold of one. I'm gonna break down this precept about the flesh. Go ahead, Ephesians 5:31.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 31. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
Right. So that's not talking That's a generalized statement. Of course, a man gonna leave his mother at home. That's just like saying a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his job and get him one job. Am I only allowed to have one job? No. So it's not talking that. When you think on a survival level, it's not telling you, oh, I only can have one job, I only can have one woman. It's many reasons for having a woman than just sex. It ain't just about sex. And the Most High tell a woman need a covering. She need a head. What's the head? The husband. So she gonna need somebody to guide her. So I'm gonna have to marry her. Can't have her burning her lust her whole life. We programmed to mate and to make babies. The Most High told us to repopulate and be fruitful. Be fruitful and multiply. Subdue all the creatures on the earth and maintain the earth. They tell you to get stuff and just hold it. I'm gonna get chickens and just hold them up. I don't want them to have no eggs. I'm gonna get a rooster. I don't want him to have no. I'm gonna get him one chicken for his wife, and then we just gonna have them little one egg, 2 eggs every day. No, I need. If I'm trying to build up my chicken head, my chicken stock, that one rooster need like 30 chickens. So I'm gonna get more eggs to eat every day and more chickens, depending on how many people I got that we feed it. So that's just another way to show how it don't make sense. That the Most High made it where we only can have one wife. We only supposed to have one wife. Where we at? Yeah, that's talking. That one flesh is talking. Um, it's talking about mental, physical, and spiritual union. It's not just talking about having sex and me and her just being together. It's talking about mentally and spiritually and everything. Go to Sirach 25 and 24 through 26. Becoming one flesh with somebody meaning y'all on the same page. So you mean to tell me I can't be on the same page with multiple women? If I'm the leader and they following me, why I can't be on the same page with them? If they following me. So of course we're gonna be on the same page and they following my mind. We're gonna get into Sirach 25 and 24 through 26.
This one on the one on
26, yeah.
the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Verse 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go.
You see that? It's telling you, don't give in to her, don't give her freedom to guide abroad. Don't get a water no passage. You know what I mean? False doctrines or whatever else she into. They're not just talking about sex. So it'd be different reasons. It say if she won't, what it say? If she don't do what, then give her a bill of divorcement.
If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill.
Nah, it's talking about when she won't give me no sex. Cut her off from that flesh. I mean, it just mean don't have sex with her no more and give her money.
If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorcement, of divorce, and let her go.
Right. So that's talking about everything, mentally, physically, and spiritually. If she not keeping the commandments like you teaching it to her, and it gets to a boiling point, it say let her go. Fornication not just talking about sex. If she sleep with some cheat on you, fornication going to spiritual fornication. She don't want to follow the Most High. You getting fed up with it. It's saying let her go. How can you stay with a woman long term that when you keeping the Feast of Tabernacles, she want to celebrate Christmas every year? It's been 10 years, and it been 10 years, and she's still eating crab and shrimp. She's celebrating Easter. She's celebrating all American holidays. Won't keep no feast days with you, but you supposed to stay married to her. You got brothers teaching that too. That's wicked as hell. Y'all try and make brothers stay with somebody forever, and that woman wicked as hell. And just because she didn't sleep with somebody else, you supposed to stay with her. Do that make sense? It say the woman supposed to be a pillar of rest. A pillar of rest, not a pillar of stress. And you're gonna delight in her, you're gonna grow old gracefully, basically the scripture saying. How you gonna do that with a woman that's wicked? She ain't cheat on you, but she don't want to do nothing that the Most High guide you to do. She don't want to help you doing her everything. She don't want to learn how to cook. Don't want to cook from scratch. She don't want to learn how to make no meals from nothing. Nothing. Where we at? All right. We're at the Wikipedia ladder. So now we about to get into some letters. My nose itching. About to get a letter. We'll start at Wikipedia. Polygamy. Hold on. That oil. Polygamy from late Greek, state of marriage to many spouses, is the practice of marrying multiple spouses. When a man is married to more than one wife at the same time, sociologists call this polygyny. Okay. In contrast to polygamy, monogamy is marriage consisting of only two parties. Okay, I'm trying to think, is that all I wanted? Okay. So we just got into what it means. Okay. Worldwide, different societies variously encourage. Okay. Let's say of 123, 1,000 in 1998, the Ethnographic Atlas Code Book 1998 of 1,231 societies noted 588 had frequent polygyny. 453 had occasional polygyny, and 186 were monogamous, and 4 had polyandry. 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 Polyandry is when a woman got multiple men. See that? So that's not like it's uncommon. These women today act like that's not normal and uncommon. It's uncommon for a man to have one woman. That's what's uncommon. Let's go to the next letter. Native Indian letter. The next letter. Let's see what they call the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, that the indigenous people that was over here. What was they doing? What is known of marriage in early Virginia Indian society is limited to the observations of Jamestown colonists. That's where we was first brought over here at, Jamestown. Visiting English observers and later American historians, and is mostly applicable to the Algonquin-speaking Powhatans of Tessnocomico, a paramount chiefdom of 28 to 32 groups living in Tidewater, Virginia. Merge was crucial for survival. You hear that? Merge was crucial for survival in Indian society, like it ain't now. Because men and women needed to work as partners. Nah, they just needed sex from each other. Men and women needed to work as partners in order to accomplish their many daily and seasonal tasks. You see that go back to that analogy I was giving, that hypothetical I gave in the beginning. The man initiated courtship and looked for a woman who will perform her assigned tasks as well. Okay, let's keep going down. Let's go down. It is estimated that the paramount chief Powhatan had as many as 100 wives during his lifetime. While a man's first marriage was expected to last forever, additional marriages were likely negotiated for shorter terms, unless a woman was married to a chief. Let's keep going down. Okay. Courtship and marriage. Let's go down. That's about it. Okay, multiple marriage. That's what I was looking for. The Powhans assumed that first marriages would have last unless, okay, let's go down. Chief, especially the prayer, would take many wives. English observers did not record whether or female chiefs ever took multiple husbands. This going into something else. That's about it. Cause I don't, Powhatan chose his wives based on her beauty, but a wife's family background probably mattered too. Alright. Basically the Indians, the Native Americans, the indigenous people over here, they practice polygyny. They just did. That's basically what we going into. I got one more letter. Now we going to Islam. Now we going to Islam. Okay. Traditional Sunni and Shia Islamic marital jurisprudence allows Muslim men to be married to multiple women, a practice known as polygyny. The verse most commonly referred to with the topic of polygyny is verse 3. If you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with the orphans, marry women of your choice, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you shall not be able to deal justly with them, then only one. So let's see where that came from. Go to Exodus 21 and 10. We're gonna break this down. We gonna break it down. So the letter just stated that this is a verse out of the Quran. The letter stated that they men was allowed, they practiced polygyny, multiple wives. Then a scripture out of the Quran detailing if you want multiple wives, get them, but deal with them justly. If not, just get one. You see that logic right there? If you can handle it, do it. But if not, don't do it.
What's the scripture that's in the Quran too, where it say they took our culture and our history?
I got it. I got it. You about to go on that, read that. That's why I wanted to read that.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Sure, what?
Shall he not diminish?
You see that? If you take another wife or whatever, it say her duty of marriage shall not diminish. Meaning everything gotta be on the up and up. Can't be lying, can't be going over here. You talking about your other wife, to this wife, and they don't get along. No, they gotta be, everything gotta be on equal grounds. You know what I mean? Can't turn one woman against each other. Can't be doing stuff like that. Stuff gotta be on the up and up.
And then that's plain upon tape. It said if he take him another wife, a whole another wife, meaning he already got one. If he take him another one, he have to keep 3 duties. Which is telling you right there, a man is eligible to have another wife.
Exactly.
By his choice, if he take him another wife, if he chooses to.
And that's Moses right here. Now we about to read out the Quran, Surah 33, A7. And remember, we took from the prophets their covenant. So they admitted in the Quran they took from the prophets whatever covenant they got, they stole from the Israelites. And from thee, from Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, the son of Mary, we took from them a solemn covenant. See that? They admitting right there that they knowledge and all that they took. Let's see if we got another one. Okay, let's go on another one. Let's go down here. I'm trying to get the one directly. Well, that's it. I just read that one. The one that got Moses' name in it. But it was another one telling you to follow. That's in the Babylon Timbuktu. We about to go into that. I was catching to see if it was something else. I know it was something else in here. Is it this one? The one when it tell you to follow, basically telling you,
oh, follow the book of Ode.
Check this out. This is right here. It say, it is he who sent down to thee step by step in truth the book confirming what we went before it. And he sent down the law of Moses and the gospel of Jesus. Before this is a guide to mankind. So, and it say, and he sent down a criterion of judgment between right and wrong. So that's the Quran reiterating the Bible. We know Allah is a fictional God and the Quran is made up and copied. They plagiarize the Bible. But the Quran telling you right there to follow Moses. And Moses just told you if you take another wife. Now we about to go on to Babylon and Timbuktu. What is that, 48 or 49? You want to read it? Let me see. Go ahead read that, y'all. So, right here, start at 48.
The prophet, this is.
Mm-hmm. Right here, right there.
The prophet Muhammad adopted many principles and laws from the Jewish religion.
So we know we're not the Jewish religion. You know what I mean? We know the Jew. That's just a matter of fact speaking. That's just saying the Jewish religion, right? But we know that's not talking about the fake Jews. It's talking about the Hebrew Israelites, the real Jews. Jewish means just mean pertain to, pertaining to the Israelite religion. Um, and then jump down to one right here, the Jews.
The Jews prayed 3 times a day, facing the city of Jerusalem.
Wait, yeah.
And the Muslims, true believers, pray 5 times a day, facing the city of Mecca.
You see that? So they copycat it, they just tweaked it. Keep going.
Trying his best, Muhammad sought to convert the Jews to his new religion, but to no avail. The Jews were adamant and resistant to change.
You see that? He gonna copy your book and then try to make you conform. Let's go over here to Muhammad right here.
Muhammad tried to construct his religion as closely as he could after the Jewish religion.
Jump down from jump down to right here. Like right here.
Like Christianity, also Muhammad included in his Bible the Quran accusations concerning the Jews. Nevertheless, the Quran glorifies many biblical personalities.
The Quran does what?
Glorifies many biblical personalities.
Stop. So that's proof right there. They copied their religion off of the Israelites. What's their religion? Polygyny, multiple wives, the women being covered up, praying to the east to the Most High, but they pray 5 times. They tweaked it. We pray 3 times. But they copied their whole religion after the Israelites. And one of their main things was polygyny. Where we at? We at Iraq now. We got started late, man. So now we about to go into and see where the 12 tribes came from. Since the Most High ordained us to have one wife, and people be saying, well, that was in biblical time and all that. We at a state now where our men getting killed at alarming rate and babies being aborted at alarming rate. The Most High trying to set up righteous men to build Israel back up. And it's going to be far and few in between. You're going to have more women in the truth than men in these congregations. You have a few figureheads and men up there. It's a lot of men too, but it's a lot of women though supporting the congregations. Go ahead.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. Verse 2. The Lord hath brought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
You see that? He said, let us praise famous men. So we going to see who was famous. Jump to verse 17.
Verse 17. Noah was found perfect and righteous. In the time of wrath, he was taken in exchange for the world.
Read 19.
Verse 19. Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him. Verse 20. Who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him, he established the covenant in his flesh. And when he was proved, he was found faithful. Verse 21. Therefore he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and caused them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land.
That's the end of 22.
Yeah.
Go, go to Genesis 28.
Genesis chapter 28. You get it?
What is Sabbath? We don't really need it right now. I was trying to show that Jacob, you know what I mean, that famous man, he called Jacob famous and established the nation of Israel with Jacob. The Most High not going to start. The Most High not going to start his nation on sin, on something he didn't ordain from the beginning. People act like, oh, the Most High ordained it back then, but now it ain't ordained no more. These scriptures tell us to keep these laws through generation to generation. The same rules and stuff he established with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that stuff still stand now. We just not sacrificing animals. Yeah. You got to think this stuff through. Got to think this stuff through. When you finish that, I'm gonna go to the book of Genesis. Yeah, you have to think this stuff through. You can't pull one scripture and then negate the whole book. It like one scripture can't negate 7 other scriptures speaking against it. That don't even make sense right there. That do not even make sense right there.
It's like, you know, pages. It say Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
You see that? So the same covenant. What it mean by the Most High change not is so the sons of Jacob not consumed. The Most High promised us he wouldn't cast us away. And he will be there for us forever, long as we doing what's right in his eyes. Long as we keeping the covenant, we under a blood oath. Long as we keeping our end of the bargain, he gonna keep his end of the bargain. That's what that scripture's saying. Go to Genesis 28. He not gonna change that up. The only thing that got changed was sacrifice because it didn't work.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28,
Verse 1.
and verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob, and blessed him, and charged him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Go to verse 3.
Verse 3. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people. Verse 4. And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham.
Go jump down to 13 and 14.
Verse 13. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. Verse 14. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
See that? The Most High gave Jacob the covenant that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they seed gonna be everywhere. The Most High said Abraham kept his charge. Most High say he have not sinners. So if Jacob was doing anything that was off, he would have been breaking that covenant. But the Most High knew he wasn't going to break that covenant. That's why that line, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Go to Genesis 29. Mm-hmm.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 1. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. Verse 6. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. Verse 9. And while he yet spake with them.
Hold on, stop. Rachel, that's one of Jacob's wives. Keep going.
Verse 9. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. Verse 10. And it
jump to 13.
Verse 13. And it
came, you right. My bad, Shalaki.
Verse 10. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the whale's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Verse 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 16. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
So that's 2 right there. But read a little bit. I don't know if we're going to be able to get all that. You can go ahead.
Verse 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter.
So he made a covenant with the father that he'll be his servant for 7 years for that daughter, for Rachel, the daughter.
Verse 19. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. Verse 22. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Verse 23. Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
See that? What it say he did? What?
Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
You see that? He brought his other daughter to him too. Keep on.
Verse 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid.
See that? She needed some help.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? Verse 26. And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
See that? So he had to get the other wife before he could get the other one. But the father done gave him 2 wives, 2 of his daughters now. Keep reading.
Verse 27. Fulfill her week, And we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
So he got to do another 7 years for the other daughter. Read.
Verse 28. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also.
He did what?
Gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also.
Nah, you only can have one wife.
And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also.
Read.
Verse 29. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. Verse 31. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
Stop. So the Most High made Jacob have balance. He seen that he was trying to favor one over the other one. So it's like, okay, you want to like her more than her. Well, I'm going to make her have a baby then. So you ain't going to have no choice. You ain't going to have no choice. It's got to be a balance. You're going to love both of these women the same. Read.
Verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
See that? So you see that what I said? The Most High making Jacob be a man and have balance. He's still young. Read.
Verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
See that? Making Jacob be a man. Keep going.
Verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi.
Read.
Verse 35. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing.
See that? So the Most High making Jacob have balance. He had evil thoughts. I ain't gonna say evil or wicked. Wicked means ungodly. He was having wicked thoughts. He wanted to like her more than her. So the Most High gonna made the one that he liked less had the babies to build his love up, so we can have that balance.
And then another thing was how you know it was lawful, because you seen no friction between the wives. I'm pretty sure if it was, it would have been noted. It would have been an uproar in the city.
Wasn't no friction. Wasn't no friction. You keep going. You on the next
Verse, the book of Genesis, chapter 30 and verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
So she's saying, man, I'm going to die if I don't have no children back. She wanted to be like the other wife had babies. She wanted babies too. Read.
Verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in God's stead, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? Verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
Stop. You see that? Not only did the father give him Rachel and Leah, one of them gave Jacob Bilhah, her maidservant. Keep going. I mean Rachel. Read.
Verse 4. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. I gotta read that one more time. Verse 4. And she gave Bilhah her handmaid to wife, And Jacob went in unto her. Verse 5. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Verse 6. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and have also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bare Jacob a second son. So that tell you right there that not only did Rachel give um her handmaid to Jacob to bear a son, they was continuously doing it for her to bear twice.
So what was going on there? That's the question of the day. They was nation building. The Most High, he gave Abraham the promise that his seed was gonna be like the sand of the sea. So when he got to Jacob, Jacob was to carry that out and had the 12 tribes. It's an all righteous thing going on. Keep going.
Verse 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid and gave her Jacob to wife.
Nah, he gave it to him just to be his friend. It's just to go get water for him.
And gave her Jacob to wife.
Nah, he gave her to Jacob so she can just bring his meals and I don't know, wash his back.
And gave her Jacob to wife.
What do husband and wives do?
Married.
Read.
Verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. Verse 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad.
Another one of the tribes. Keep reading.
Verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. Verse 13. And Leah said, happy am I. Hold on. She said, what? And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. Oh my goodness. And she called his name Asher.
Go ahead.
People was going to call Leah. She knew she was happy. Not only was she happy, she said the nation was going to call her blessed. But according to y'all knowledge and terminology, if you can't have more than one wife, why would the nations call her blessed if she had Jacob as a husband? Jacob that had all these children by all these women. Why would the nation call her blessed?
Call her blessed. And then let's get deeper into it. What's going on? It's balance going on. Rachel had babies by Jacob. Her maid had babies by Jacob. Leah had babies by Jacob. Her maid had babies by Jacob. All them women had a duty of making babies. They wasn't just sitting around bringing them water and master your food's ready. When you make your bed, master, no, you gotta make some babies. That's what was going on. Read.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. Verse 15. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. Verse 16. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. Verse 17. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son. Verse 18. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband, and she called his name
Issachar.
Issachar. Verse 19. And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the sixth son. Verse 20. And Leah said, God have endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him six sons. And she called his name Zebulun.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Verse 21. And afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah. Verse 22. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her and opened her womb. Verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. Verse 24. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son.
You see that? She being blessed. She the second wife. And the Most High dealing with her, blessing her with more children. That's a woman blessing to have babies. Not to be sitting around doing nothing but just, oh, can you give me a cup of water, please? Come on, man. Brothers don't be thinking, man. Come on, man. Read.
Oh, verse 25. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go unto my own place and to my own country.
So now Jacob trying to get on his own. And let's see, this is what I wanted to get to, but I wanted just to show how the whole 12 tribes came through them 4 women. They didn't fight, swing a punch, stab, call the police, do nothing. Wasn't no fighting in the house, domestic abuse going on. Yeah, of course, they're human beings. Of course, it's going to be a little envy here and there, but they planned it all out. The Most High forced them to plan it out. Read.
Verse 26. Give me my wives.
Give me what?
My wives.
My what?
My wives.
Nah, my wife.
My wives.
Read.
And my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee.
Stop. You see that? Where we at? Genesis 31.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 31, and verse 1. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all his glory. Verse 2. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. Verse 4. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. Verse 17.
But you see that? He called Rachel and Leah, giving them equal duties. He called Rachel and Leah at this point. At this point, he growing up. You see that? And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. Nah, Jacob still showing favoritism. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. That's why I went through all that to show is growth going on here and understanding on how to deal with multiple wives. Right here in the first book of the Bible. Brothers got to go back and read stuff over and meditate on it. 17.
Verse 17. When Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels.
His sons and his what?
His sons and his wives.
No, just Rachel and Leah.
His sons and his wives upon camels. Verse 18. And he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten. The cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padanaram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan.
Stop. You see that? Jacob got blessed. Not only did the Most High give him 4 wives, he gave him a whole rack of cattle and all that stuff to take to his father. He left his father and them and went to his uncle. Now he going back to his father. Man, he left his father a boy. His father gave him advice. Take daughters of your own people. What'd he do? He went to his uncle. His uncle set him up, put him on his feet. Now he's trying to go back home and show his father, look, Dad, I became a man. And he got 4 women, all 12 tribes of Israel. He got 4 wives, 12 tribes of Israel, all these cattle and all that. He coming back home a grown man. This chapter, these chapters I'm going through is showing the progression of Jacob. People try to point out, oh, Leah and Rachel wasn't getting along, this, that, and third. But you see at the end, coming towards the end, everybody had growth and it was balanced out. They got over the little nitpicky stuff. Can't just pick one scripture and try to make that validate a whole story, a whole story. The story of Jacob and his wives, we started at 28. Now we on 32. That's why I'm going through this, to show the progression of Jacob. To show he had to learn how to deal with the multiple wives. And the Most High blessed him because he didn't do nothing off. He got women of his own kindred. He got the main wife. He went through the father. The father gave him both his daughters. And the daughters gave him their maids. So that's proven right there. Possession just don't mean, oh, I can have one possession. Did he leave with 1 cow, 1 lamb, 1 sheep, 1 cow, 1 horse, 1 camel, 1 son? No, he left with all multiple possessions of everything.
Salaki, and another thing, how you know he did that, he said that he's giving you a blessing so I can depart and go into my own country.
You see that? He grew up. He grew up. He said, he said what? Give him his what?
Give him his blessing so he can depart.
No, he said give him his curse. Give him his blessing so he can depart.
He's becoming so great, so huge. He said, I need my own space.
Exactly. The Most High blessed him, built him up because it was preordained. He didn't break no covenant. He ain't do like Esau, eat raw meat and lose his covenant and all that over some raw meat, some blood. He ain't do nothing wrong. He had to be a man. You're going to have hiccups here and there in a relationship. People see that, oh, he liked Rachel. He liked Leah. What it say? He liked Rachel, but he ain't hardly like Leah and all that. Like it was some beef. It wasn't no beef. It was natural human instinct going on. Natural human wickedness going on that they had to weed out. They had to pan it out. And when Jacob, when he was growing up, after he did all them years serving for Laban, what he do? It say he left with his wives and all that. When he got somewhere, he called Rachel and Leah to come attend to his flock. He ain't just called, he called both of them. See, people don't be saying a deeper message in a story. It's showing growth. Where we at? Genesis 32. Yeah. It said, I thought it was going to be long. I enjoyed reading through that story like that. I ain't read through that story in a long time.
Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 32 and verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him.
And who met him?
The angels of God.
Nah, regular men.
The angels of God.
Angel mean messenger. So, you got celestial angels and you got terrestrial angels. Read.
Verse 22. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants.
He did what?
And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives.
No, they was beefing. They fell out, and he divorced one of them. They couldn't get along, so he had to leave one of them back.
And took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants.
No, he had 2 male servants, regular butlers working for him.
And his 2 women servants. And his 11 sons. And passed over the ford Jabbok.
You see that? Jacob is growing. He's progressing. He's growing up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a story about becoming a man. It ain't just about he just had the 12 tribes. No, this about this all these we going through is showing Jacob is growing up. He learned how to deal with his multiple wives and all that. It's you learn through growth. He had to grow and learn. The Most High not gonna give you more than you can handle. If it was too much for us, why would the Most High start a whole nation with just one man then? If it was just too much for him to handle all that responsibility.
With all them wives.
Negroes got weak mind states now. The Esau done made you Negroes so weak in the mind. I only can deal with one. It's hard dealing with one. It is, but that don't mean I only can handle one. If I got the finances and all that, so everything will be evened out, I can deal with more than one. Because I'm not going to make one woman have 11 babies. That don't make sense. That's why the Most High gave them multiple wives so they can spread it out. So them women don't get burnt out. They got to a certain point, the next woman had, each woman had a role. Leah was younger, so she had more babies. The older one didn't have that many. And then the maids had some too, to make the 12. Where we at?
Verse 30. The book of Genesis, chapter 33 and verse 1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the 2 handmaids. Verse 2. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. Verse 3. And he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. Verse 4. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Verse 5. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the woman and the children and said, Who are those with thee? And he said, The children which God hath graciously given thy servant.
Which what?
Grace.
Go read it. And he said what?
And he said, The children which God hath graciously given thy servant.
Nah, Jacob went off. He took another wife. He broke wedlock and just had another wife and just y'all coming with me. You know what I mean? I don't care about that covenant. I'm getting me some more women, had some more babies. And he said what?
The children which God hath graciously given thy servant.
Man, the Most High gave Jacob them wives and them children, Negroes. The Most High gave him that. That's why it's good to go back in these stories and analyze them over and over. Go to Ruth. Where we at? Ruth. Tell you gotta break. I read these stories over and over, and I stay finding new stuff and different and more insight on what was going on. Like just now, seeing that it was talking about Jacob, the growth. Jacob went from this little boy over his uncle's house to this grown man coming back saying his brother he ain't seen in a minute. And he said, God graciously gave to thy servant. He said, and God gave him all that. So all them wives, them children, the cattle, the Most High gave it to him because he was thy servant. What that mean? He was keeping the commandments. So having them other women wasn't going off, Negroes. Y'all keep being pressed to make somebody be, you just gotta have one woman. Stuff be circumstantial. Stuff is circumstantial. Where we at? Ruth? Where we at? Ruth what? Go ahead, you can read it.
It's the book of Ruth, chapter 4 and verse 11. And all the people that were in the gates and the elders said, we are witnesses, the Lord make the woman that is come into thine house.
Hold on, stop. He said the elder said what?
The elders said, we are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah.
Stop. Man, the elders say they a witness to Ruth. I did a class on Ruth. I ain't gonna get into that. But Ruth is from the tribe of Judah. But anyway, the elders said that Ruth, they witnessed that Ruth, that the Lord make this woman that is coming to the house like Rachel and Leah. Read.
Which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in
Ephratah.
Ephratah.
Ephratah is referred to the members from the tribe of Judah. When you see the word Ephratah was a woman named Ephratah. And then later on after she died, that word was referenced to members of the tribe of Judah. Read.
And be famous in Bethlehem.
That's the same place. Ephratah and Bethlehem is the same place. You see that? Say she gonna be famous because she being like Rachel and Leah. Why would the Most High make her famous after two whores? After one of them gotta be the whore. If Jacob going off, one of them was a legit merge, the other woman is a whore. Am I lying? Am I lying? One of them women gotta be the whore. So why is Ruth being considered famous for being like them two women? Man, Negroes do not think, man. Don't think. They want to come up with false doctrines being Pharisees, but don't think it through. Don't get no thorough breakdown. And expect people just to wonder why people not grasping that concept, because it don't make sense.
And then another thing is, you can tell that they were it was a custom to have many wives back then. It was okay back then because Leah had said that God had blessed her when she had gave her handmaid a wife to Jacob. And then the elder also said that it was a gracious thing. God had graciously blessed Jacob for having all these children and all these wives.
You see that? You ain't no way around it. It ain't no way around. See how it's different ways to break it down and to look at it that makes sense. Why would these women be considered famous if Jacob was going off and he whored one of them out? One of them got to be the whore. He married Rachel, but he started having babies with Leah first because the Most High was making Jacob be a man. He was making him balance his love out. He was making him figure out, okay, I like her more, but she giving me babies. And his love grew to even out. You see that? His love grew and it evened his feelings out. And he grew with them women and they became a unit. That stuff just don't happen overnight. Negroes act like this stuff just gonna happen overnight. You gotta grow and develop And people got to learn each other and make it work. And if it don't work, okay, it don't work. But in this instinct, it did work. I know brothers. I know a brother that's living in the mountains now got multiple wives. And they be doing live streams together, happy as can be. But see, they teach these women, okay, they teach women to hate other women that come around their man. They teach women, okay, you married, but all your friends wicked and they want to sleep with your man and they backbite you and stab you. When a woman it can be arrangement where it's your man, he got other women that's your sister wives and all y'all getting along and bonding and taking care of each other kids and forming a real unit. Y'all not talking about each other behind each other back. Y'all helping each other out financially, spiritually, physically, with the duties, with the chores. And there ain't no murmuring going on. You can't have no nation like that. Oh, how you gonna have, you got a school, you got one wife, and it's all these other women and all that. All the men got one wife and it's all these extra women. It's gonna be a lot of murmuring and stuff going on.
And then another thing, when they was in the land of Egypt, the Egyptians sort of start killing off all their sons because what was they doing? Multiplying heavily. How can you multiply if you just having a baby with one girl? That's one baby a year.
You probably, even if that one woman had 2 or 3 babies, well, it's gonna get to a point she gonna get busted up to the point she ain't gonna be able to have no more children. Men can have babies all the way till they die. They still got sperm in their sacks. You think that's for a reason? Why the woman can't have babies all the way till she dies? No, it ain't meant to be like that. It's meant for a man to get other women to have babies. He can keep, man can have babies all the way. I can have babies all the way till I'm 60 and 70 and 80. But my wife gonna stop having babies by the time she's 50, and I just gotta live the rest of my days. No more children. And I got other women around who wanna have babies back. And I need more sons to help me do stuff so I can teach them and all that, to help build up my name, my legacy, to help put my brick in the nation of Israel. When our males being killed by the sword, being aborted, being railroaded, we need all the babies we can get, long as it's righteous though. Where we going at? Was it Isaiah? Started off slow, but this one got good.
Yeah, it got real good. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
Nah, one woman gonna take hold of one man.
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
And what?
Saying, we will eat our own bread.
It's saying what?
We will.
Nah,
We.
I.
We.
I.
We.
Read.
We will eat our own bread.
See that? So how's they gonna eat their own bread? Those 7 women gonna be making bread. If you got one woman gonna be making all the bread, and the other women just gonna be eating them. She gonna be doing all the work and bends up because they not his wives. They ain't gotta do nothing for him really. They waiting on their husband to come, but they gonna sit around and this woman gonna be no. This woman gonna make bread today. You gonna sweep the floor. You gonna wash the dishes. You gonna wash the clothes. You gonna breastfeed the children. You gonna go out there and feed the chickens. So on and so on. Them women splitting tasks up and duties and they rotating. And it's working marvelously because ain't none of them getting burnt out. Read.
And wear our own apparel.
And wear what?
Our own apparel.
No, it just means it's gonna be me and her apparel gonna wear our own apparel.
We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach.
You see that? Let us be called by thy name to take away thy reproach. You can go on a spiritual level with that. I ain't gonna get into all that. But on a physical level, it makes sense. If you talking about nation building. Because I don't want to hear no Negroes talking about, oh, it ain't talking about that. I know these scriptures be twofold. They go into a physical aspect and a spiritual aspect over here. But we going into the physical aspect of it. Read. Or you had something you want to bring up?
Yeah, about that verse, going into what you were saying about a women just sitting around when it's just a man around. They just sit around and they gotta be, still keep their youth, not use up their youth while they still got it, and just have all this type of lust on them, and just be like a ravening wolf, geeked up. It say right here, they said we will make our own bread and our own apparel. Basically saying we're gonna take care of ourselves.
Check this out. If I got my house, my land, or whatever, I'm teaching, and multiple women gravitate to me, and I'm already married, and they want to come live with me. My wife already understands the rules. She know what's good. These other women come, she already know the Most High sent them. She not gonna buck against that. She just gonna have to fight any little demons try to leap on her. She gonna have to fight that because the Most High sent them women. 7 additional women. The Most High said ain't no coincidence. 7 other women they coming around. You got you set up, but you need help. Okay, 7. You wind up accumulating 7 more women, possessions. 7 more possessions for what? Attendants and servants and childbirth. The Most High did that because then what he say, what he did to Jacob? Said the most, when he ran to Esau, he said the Most High, the Lord blessed me with these wives and children and all that. The Most High give you the blessing of a woman and your children. Now, what you do with it is up to you, but the initial blessing comes from the Most High. Each man got his own lot. Each man wasn't meant to have the same lot. Oh, you got one wife. I got one wife. You got to have one wife too. We got the same lot. Do that make sense? No, it don't. No, it don't. When we go on a basketball court, is we gonna have the same leaping ability, the same moves, the same agility? Was we made the same height? No. So we made different with different abilities, different gifts, and you get different blessings. It's a balance. I got one wife, so he got to have one wife too, and he younger than me. He younger than me. We need more males, more children. His wife already pregnant. She can't have no more children for a minute. But it's these other women hanging around doing that. You mean to tell me the Most High name bring them around so they can have more babies? We two righteous brothers in the truth doing what the Most High want us to do. You really think He not gonna bless us with no more women to have no more babies so we can teach them how to be workers and helpers? We gonna get old one day. We gonna need all the help we gonna get. One woman just not gonna do it on a certain level. Y'all get mad all you want to. It makes sense. We talking about nation building. We not talking about lust and sex and just, oh, I want me another woman because, man, you see the rump on that? I gotta have that. No, I need babies. I need helpers. I got this land, these farm animals. I need help. And the Most High made the woman to be the attendant and the servant. That's the help, the helpmate. Your one woman, she pregnant, stomach out the head. What she going? She can't do but so much. You need some help, and you working and doing other stuff. Where the help gonna come from? When a woman going a period and she's sick, where the help gonna come from? The woman ain't supposed to do nothing when she on her period. Where the help gonna come from? It's gonna come from her sister wife. And then when this one on her period, then she gonna help her out. It's a balance. It's a system. It's a system like a machine to keep stuff running. It's a well-oiled machine. That was all on that. Isaiah verse 2 going back. We got more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got more. Shit, it's only an hour and 40 minutes. I added all that extra stuff. This the breakdown. This the actual. We had to went through all that, the logic, the story of the 12 tribes. We went through all that just to break it, dissect it all the way down to the breakdown. Now we going into the breakdown now. So if I was in the street or in a debate, this will be the breakdown to prove it. But I already just broke it down through the story of Jacob and logic and letters showing other customs that this not just no anomaly. This is a main thing that goes on the earth, even in the animal kingdom. I wish I should have showed videos of herms, deers and sheep, all of herd animals. They have herms. A herm is when a male animal got multiple females. They might have 10 female deers and one male. And any other males come around here try to kill them. And they got to fight for that whole herm. So the Most High gave us clues and knowledge in the animal kingdom to learn from how to operate. Them, that's that deer or that bull or that elephant, them is possessions. Rhino or whatever, even alligators, the walrus. It's called a beach master in the walrus community, where this one walrus called the beach master own all these females. All of them. And any male come around, they fight, blood be everywhere over that herm of women, because them his possessions. That's how you keep your population going. If you a dominant male and you get them possessions because you a dominant male, that's your blessing to carry them genes on. We're in Exodus 21. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
So we went through all that about balance. We went through all that through I showed the whole first part of the lesson about balance. How's a balance? Even how Jacob had to learn balance. Yeah, Ephesians.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 31. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
All right, let's get some more on it. So he said they should be one flesh. So the question is, can a man and three women, let's just say three, pick a number. Can a man and three women become one flesh? Most definitely. Let's see. Sirach 7:24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them.
So it say if you got daughters, have care of their body. Let's see how you gonna have care of their body. So for one, you marry her off, right? Make sure she get with a righteous man. Let's see what type of righteous man. Go Sirach 37.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37. The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind.
Nah, a brother that you wondering if he righteous or not, if he keep the commandments, and if he gonna care about you or not.
Whose mind is according to thy mind.
A man that what? That knows what? Dwell with a man that what? Read it over.
But be continually with a godly man.
Nah, with a man you wondering about.
With a godly man.
Read.
Whom thou knowest to keep.
Nah, who thou guessest.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind.
Stop. So, you mean to tell, it say whose mind is according to thy mind. So there we go again, meaning y'all gonna be on the same page. It say whose mind, who's according to thy mind. That's talking about telling a woman to get with a man that keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is after thy mind. Go to all right, go back to Sirach 25, 7:25.
The book of Sirach, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding.
A man that understands balance. A man that understands the commandments telling you to love your wife as thyself. We're going to get to it. It say a weighty matter and give it to a man that's understanding. Read.
Verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a like woman.
So it's saying, do you have a wife after that mind? So I got the three women. Is they gonna be after thy mind and say don't give yourself over to a light woman, meaning a airhead, a what you call a bird brain or a dummy, or we gonna say a woman that's not that intelligent or wit or smart. Let's just say that a woman that's not that smart. So them women gonna have to be after your mind, after your mind. So you want to become one flesh with each one of the women because all of them gonna have your mind. That's just like you the popular dude and everybody trying to be like you. It's the same thing. The scriptures tell the women to be after, had a mind of their husband. So them three women I got, all three of them supposed to have thy mind, have my mind. So we all gonna be connected. We all gonna be joined, you know what I mean, by the flesh. Spiritually, physically, and mentally.
The book of Sirach, chapter, no, that's Sirach. First Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. Them women gonna be after your mind, become one flesh. All three of them women gonna have your mind. They gonna be trying to be like you. When you got one woman, don't she be trying to be like you, do everything you do and say? Them other two gonna do the same thing. They gonna see how the first wife that you had that's making you happy, they gonna emulate everything she do to keep you happy. They gonna study and see how do she follow your mind, and they gonna emulate that. They gonna copy that format so they can do what she doing, so they can be like her and be in good favor. They see you in good. They see that you approve of her actions, her ways, or whatever, and the Most High dealing with her. They gonna want the same thing. They not gonna be acting different. They gonna be trying to act to get that same favor from the Most High and the husband. So it's idiotic to say, "Oh, how you gonna become one flesh with three women, or more than one woman?" Brothers, though, a lot of this stuff in the Bible is not literal. It's not just talking about become one flesh, meaning y'all gonna hug each other and become one flesh. It's talking about a spiritual um, partnership is what it's talking about. It's a spiritual partnership. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
No, the head of the woman is the woman.
And the head of the woman is the man.
No, she gonna get upset because you got another woman that's righteous that want to join in.
And the head of the woman is the man.
You see that? So if the man go through the proper steps and bring another woman in, that other woman ain't got no say in that. She need to be making that woman comfortable and showing her the ropes instead of just worrying about because it's another woman in play. That's more help. That's more help with the kids, more help with the farm animals, more help with the housework, more help with satisfying the husband. It's less stress on one woman. But when you think of like an American, these women selfish. They selfish, and that's why they struggle and always complain about they don't have enough help. Even when they got a man, they complaining because it's a lack. But they always confide in other wicked sisters, telling all they business to, and them women don't come help them do nothing. Won't help you babysit, won't help you do anything. But if you got other sisters that's of the Most High, they gonna help you do whatever. They gonna help you do whatever. That's all on that. Go back to Exodus. Say the head of the woman is the man. So when the woman following the man, because he gonna do what?
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Read it again.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife.
Stop. Why? Why did he do that? What 1 Corinthians 11:3 tell you? The head of the woman is the man. Go ahead, read that 1 Corinthians 11:3.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Jump over to Exodus and read that.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife.
Go back to Corinthians.
The book of Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Go back to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
You see that? So it gotta be a balance. It gotta be evened out. It ain't no, oh, I'm just gonna get another woman for sex and I'm gonna treat her like garbage. I'm gonna hold her up here and keep her down here. The Most High gonna destroy that union. It gotta be a balance for it to be blessed and righteous. For them women to get along. Where we at? Yeah. Come on, man. We breaking this stuff all the way down to the nitty gritty. I had more to add with this, but I didn't come to do no major, no long, super long play, even though this stretching out. Read.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
Is what?
Abomination to the Lord.
A false what?
A false balance.
A what?
A false balance.
No, I'm gonna have one woman up here and one woman down here.
A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
Nah, I got one wife, so you gotta have one wife.
A false balance is abomination to the Lord.
How can one man and three women become one flesh?
A false balance is abomination to the Lord. But a just weight is his delight.
Say a just weight. Her duty of raiment shall, if he take another wife, her duty, her raiment shall not diminish. It's a balance. Read.
Verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. Verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
You see that? So if the brother being off and it's not a balance like Moses telling him, he's a transgressor and his pride gonna destroy him. Oh, I got all these women on me. I got multiple women. I can do what I want. That pride gonna destroy him. The pride of transgressors. Where we at?
Ephesians chapter 5.
So he said, if he take another wife, we're going to see how a man, more than one woman can be one flesh. We about to see right here. If he take another wife.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself.
You see that? So ought men to love their wives, plural, as their own bodies. You can say that's a general statement, but it says so ought men love their wives as their own bodies. Read.
Verse 29. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church.
Stop. You see that? It say nourish it and cherish it. Nah, but I only get. How can one man and three women become one flesh? Read. Start over 29.
Verse 29. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it.
Nah, I got three wives. I only can be one flesh with one of them.
But nourisheth and cherisheth it.
You see that? I got three women. It say a man can't hate his own flesh, but nourish and cherish it. So on one hand, it tell you her duty of raiment, talking about her clothing, her food, clothing, and shelter, not going to diminish her duty of marriage, the way you treat her. And then over here, it say you going to do what?
For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it.
You want to nourish and cherish that other woman like the other one. You going to nourish this one and cherish it. You going to nourish this one and cherish it. You going to nourish this one and cherish it if you a man of the Lord. So I don't understand. I don't even want to say I understand. I don't want to hear. It don't make sense that just because I got more than one woman, you can't do that if you're doing it righteously. Oh yeah, of course.
Another thing is speaking on what the brother was saying about nourishing and cherishing both of your wives. It has to be a just weight. The Lord didn't get on Jacob, or what that was Jacob, right? The Lord didn't get on Jacob for having two wives. He got on him for not treating them the same. That's why he
Oh, you
made.
talking about they say if he take another wife,
Yep.
that was Moses. Oh, you talking about the story we read about Jacob?
Yeah, the story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. But the Most High, he didn't get on Jacob for having both of the wives. He got on Jacob for not treating them equally. That's why he made Rachel burn. So it's telling you right there, if he was in any other sin, why would he just if he couldn't even have both of the wives, why would he just make one burn? And it was real specific about why he made her burn because he loved Rachel. But it was certain things in Leah that he didn't like.
Right. So the Most High forced Jacob to grow up. He forced his love to balance out. Okay, you love her more than her. Well, I'm gonna make her have the babies then, and you ain't gonna have no. You gonna be forced to grow your love evenly. Sometimes people gotta grow on you. Everybody you don't like on the same level. This your best friend right here. You meet this person at first, it's like, oh, they okay and all that. Then when time go on, they become a better friend to you than them. You love them more than them. It's a growth period. It's a growth period. So it say he growth it and nourish it. Say he what it say? He nourish it and cherish it. Let's see why you could do that. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 9. Let's see why we able. Let's see why we able to. Yeah. Oh, it's more. Go ahead. My bad. My bad. I gotta get used to you reading.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse
28 through 33. I think you read verse 28. I had to turn my page too.
book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 30. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. Verse 31. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. Verse 32. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband.
You see that? That's a general statement right there. So the wife need to reverence her husband. And we went through all the scriptures. Let's see why you gonna do that. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. It say the head of the woman is the man. And the other scriptures say if he take another wife, Most High say they gotta be a just weight. A false balance is abomination. We even showed you that in the Quran. We showed you that in history and other nationalities.
And through the dictionary.
And gave you logic. We broke it down from every angle to show.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 1. O good of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word. Verse 2. And ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
You see that? He said man should do what?
And ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
Nah, it's a creature, but ain't no S on that.
He should have dominion over the creatures.
Nah, that's just talking about animals, sheep, and lambs. I can have many as I can control the sheep, the lambs, the fish.
He should have dominion over the creatures.
Isn't women a creature? Woman is a creature too. But everything we went through, let's see what it gotta be though. Read.
Over the creatures which thou hast made. Verse 3. And order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart.
Nah, I'm gonna get wives. I'm gonna do them wrong. I'm gonna do them dirty. I'm just want some sex from them. It ain't about nation building.
And execute judgment with an upright heart.
Read back a little bit more.
And order the world according to equity and righteousness.
If he take another wife
and execute judgment with an upright heart.
Read it back again.
And order the world according to equity.
If he take another wife.
And order the world according to equity and righteousness.
If he take another wife.
And order the world according to equity and righteousness.
Her duty and her raiment shall not diminish. It got to be a balance. The story of Jacob was about balance. And balance his feelings and his love out between multiple women. That's what the story of Jacob was about. It was about him having the 12 tribes, but when we just read the story, the whole story, majority of it, the key points, and it was showing the growth of this man and these multiple women and what he had to go through. To show his love and how he had to manage it all. And the Most High increased him and blessed him and then sent him back to his father, a grown man, with multiple women, multiple kids, and farm animals and everything to start the nation of Israel off. That's all on that?
Yeah, that's all.
You got something you want to bring out?
No, that's about it.
Well,
he didn't cover it all. Hey, I took the words out of my mouth.
Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Greeting. It's Zephaniah, Yahayaka, Yasha
Brother Joseph.
SLT, School of Truth, service in the house of the Lord together in God's eternal righteousness. Sith Lord Tiger. Can't be making judgments with your feelings, Israel. You gotta think stuff through. You gotta meditate on the scriptures. You gotta read stories. You gotta go into a lot of information. We went into letters, books, man wisdom, dictionaries. Gave a hypothetical scenario. Everything we got. I just ain't show no videos of the animal kingdom. We ain't show no videos of the animal kingdom. But we covered everything and broke it all the way down. If you can't get the concept on nation building now after all that, you just not going to get it. And you brothers keep talking about trying to just pull a scripture here and there and justify your feelings because y'all still teaching Christianity. Y'all still teaching Americanized concepts and the truth. That's often wicked as hell. You know what I mean? You know, I'm here to tell you that anytime anybody got a problem with what I'm bringing out, you think you can do something. See, I ain't call nobody name out, nobody school. I just called the doctrine out that it was wrong, and I've chopped that stuff up with a class. I didn't pull no one scripture and ran my mouth for those. I went through a plethora of information, me and Brother Joseph, to break all that stuff down. Full books, the proper way, the right way you supposed to do it in a class setting. You know what I mean? Not no whole rack of feelings and yes men agreeing to what I'm saying when they in their mind like that don't even make sense. When they yearning and wish they could have more than one woman. You know what I mean? Long as it's righteousness in the book, gave us the clues and the precepts, gave us precepts, stories, and all type of information that you can spiritually see. If it's done correctly, it can be done and it can work and it's beneficial. Who your woman gonna be friend? Your woman, your one little woman, who she gonna be friends with? Other wicked Eve? What she gonna have to keep calling another man? What you gonna keep getting another man wife to come help her out over your house? Come on, man. That ain't righteous either. Your wife sickly or this, she gotta keep having these sisters coming over. These other men wives gotta keep coming over your house and work, basically work for you. Do the work that your wife do for you, they gonna do. Not talking about no sex, but all this other work. The brothers ain't gonna have no problem with it, but after a while it's gonna get burnt out. You're gonna keep needing another woman to come do it. But if you got other women on site to do it, it's all in-house. It ain't no problem or whatever. And y'all keeping y'all business in-house. That's another thing. Everybody want to be in everybody business. If this wife got like Jacob and Leah and her maids, they kept all that inside though. All that business was inside. Ain't nobody else know what was going on. People read that story and act like they really was there, like they seen something else was going on when the story told you. Wasn't nothing going on but a little bit of friction that the Most High made Jacob grow up and balance his love out. The story of Jacob was about balance his love out between multiple wives. And on that note, Shalom, stick together, Israel. Uh, we in tabernacle season. We going into feast of dedication in a little while. Was it John 10 and 22? Um, you know, it's a lot going on, man. This earth getting it say um men waxing gross. Uh, um, it's just a lot, man. It's for real. Man is waxing evil, man. More and more. You see what's going on. You can't even say certain stuff online. You can't even say certain stuff. So we going into a globalist system. Um, yeah, it's a tyrannical system we going into. It's a lot they trying to do and pull off. That's another class. My email, lordpayne.ep@gmail.com. My line always open for any brothers and sisters that want to link up. And I'm all about nation building. I'm all about growing. And when the Most High said flee from her, it's talking about spiritually flee. So the only way you spiritually can flee, if you get yourself together physically, you can spiritually flee, but then you want to manifest it. I don't want to keep going to the grocery store, so I want to grow my own stuff. So it take a team to pull that off. You can pull it off on a small scale, but the more the merrier, as the saying goes. You know what I mean? We're going to keep teaching through this pandemic. We're going to keep teaching to the lights shut off, to the electricity cut off, or we in the grave or whatever. I'm going to keep battling this truth, navigate my family through it, my children and all that. I just had to get on the public school system again I sent them information about my son. Um, been going in a private school online, and it's like they dropping the ball. I don't know what they since this stuff done kicked off. People not really doing their jobs. They like a daisical. Um, and there's a lot going on, but you gotta keep battling Israel. You can't waver in its truth. You just gotta keep battling, man, and doing your best. The Most High can read your thoughts in your mind. Um, so you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. So if you're not giving your best effort, it's all gonna be noted. It's all gonna be taken note of with the Most High. So anything you doing is truth. You gotta be sincere, whether it's merge, whatever, teaching, whatever you do. Try to do it the best of the ability that God giveth, like the scriptures say. And on that note, you got anything you want to say closing out?
Uh, you know, just Zephaniah 2:1 for real. Really.
Right.
I would like to see more unity between the brothers, even if, you know, we might not have certain understandings on certain things. I would still love to have that brotherly love between one another, whereas though we're not coming off as niggas towards each other, because we supposed to left that in the world. That was back with our old selves. We're not supposed to put on that same clothing. So let's come to each other as brothers on brotherly love stuff, you know, and not come off, real niggerish, with an attitude, and you gotta get all raunchy and rowdy. We don't need that. We don't need that. Simple edifying, simple love. Faithful is the wounds of a friend. If you want understanding, we all can come to the table and figure it out. You know, but I just want to see more of that line of communication between
And
each
you
other.
hear that? This coming from a young op. He ain't even 20 years old yet. This a young op talking like that. Like me, I'm a warrior. We both warrior, but I'm aggressive. And I come off that way. You know what I mean? But I'm lovable. I'm real. I give you the shirt off my back. I give you my last. We can spiritually battle about the scriptures and all that. But if you call me and need some money or really need something from me, you in my city, I will give it to you with no problem, no hesitation. Yeah, where you at? You need what? You need, all right, come get it. See, I can differentiate the two. You know what I mean? I can't help it if I'm a warrior, you know what I mean, and I come off stern. That's just me. There's no faking. This ain't no facade. This not no something that I put this, and then when the camera come off, I go back to this effeminate man. You know what I mean? This stingy, effeminate man, selfish man. No. Anybody that know me in the world know I'm one of the most generous, caring, loving human beings on this earth. But I got another side too. I've been through a lot in my life that got me the way I am. The stuff I had to deal with in the city I grew up in and everything. Coming from a broken home, whole rack of stuff. I went through curses that got me the way I am. You know what I mean? I'm not no pushover out here. But you can't take that for we can't link up and vibe and all that. We gotta get to know each other. You know what I mean? I'm not selfish at all. You know what I mean? I'm working on growing, getting land, doing stuff like that, and building and growing and just doing my part. Whatever. All I do is study how to prep. That's all I do is study how to prep, survival, and being a family man, being a wise man and a warrior.
I'm a witness.
You know what I mean? That's a perfect Israelite. A family man, a wise man. It's say a family man, a wise man, a warrior, and what's the other one? A farmer. A farmer, a family man, a farmer, a wise man, and a warrior. That's the perfect Israelite. That's what I'm striving to be. You know what I mean? So, like I said, anybody want to get to know me, whatever, I just drop my email, lordpayne.ep@gmail.com. You can hit me up. I'll give you my number, whatever. You come in the city, we can link up and go over some things or whatever. Because this the most side, the brother said Zephaniah 2:1. Gather thyself together. So that's what we need to be doing. You know, don't be bashful to reach out or whatever, you know. And I'm saying that to say Israel clicked up. It's a lot of cliques going on in Israel. Brothers act like if you don't join a school, they can't vibe with you. That's off as hell. I don't operate like that. I vibe with brothers from IUIC and other schools I talk to on the phone and meet in person and all that. That don't mean nothing to me. And I tell them in their face if they got teaching a doctrine that's off, I will battle that right then and there in their face. That's not personal. Just like, right, just like you on the street and you and your man getting an argument about something. But let somebody come and do something to one of y'all gonna fight to the death to protect one another. Because it's love dead. That argument not gonna negate all that love. That's just a moment in time. That, you know what I mean? But on that note, Shalom, stick together, Israel. It's a battle. We really coming down the back stretch now. Everything you see going on. Shalom the next time.
Shalom.